Hey, bestie. Hey, boo thing. I am so glad that you are here. Okay, I'm coming begging. Okay, I'm coming begging because a friend in need is a friend indeed, right? Okay, so if you have not already taken care of these little tiny housekeeping things, I would love for you to do that now. All right, I need you to please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I hope that by the end of the episode, at least you will have liked the video, comment in the comment section, and last but certainly not least, would you please share this episode with someone that you know would enjoy it also? It's coming up in All right, there we go. Okay, Sydney. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We had some technical difficulties, so we're starting this thing all over again. But I wanted to welcome you just to have this chat. Thank you for having this chat with me and welcome you here. I received an email about a week ago from an office park that's in my area, and I subscribe to their weekly newsletter. In last week's newsletter, they was communicating what they're going to be doing for Black History Month. And I will say that for me, for Black History Month, I've never really been very intentional about being excited in celebrating Black History Month, because when I was in school, we would always see like the black and white movies of like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and all the things that happened during that civil rights era, which we still are in. I shouldn't say that era because I guess we're still in it pretty much at this point. But, you know, we saw the marches and the big movements. We saw the story of Little Ruby Bridges. We saw, you know, Roots all the time. And it was just, our plight just seemed so sad. It was always talking about slavery and Jim Crow laws and all this stuff. And so Black History Month, to me, coming up, it was just a continued reminder of the oppression that we were under as a people. And it just didn't seem like anything to be excited about, you know? And so I just didn't see any fun in it, you know, or not say fun, but it just wasn't, it was just more of a mournful and a sad occasion for me. And so I just, you know, kind of, I won't say tuned it out because I didn't tune it out, but I just wasn't excited to be like, yes, it's coming up. So this year, it's different. And this year, when I thought about this office park that sent me their flyer or newsletter on what they're doing for Black History Month, I got excited because I said, man, your name ain't on that list, Tiff. How come you ain't helping them celebrate? You know, they have speakers coming in and different vendors putting things on display and whatever. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing for Black History Month as a brand? And I got to thinking further, and I said, you know, it is about history. Obviously, it's in the name, Black History Month. However, we are currently writing history. And yes, we had some sad times and some bad times. However, that is not where our story starts, and that is not where our story will end. I feel like I know we come from kings, we come from queens and royalty, and we have excellence in us. And so we are operating at excellence even right now. You've got all these trailblazers doing positive things in our community. And because of that, I said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate Black History Month and celebrate the great times. You know, what are we doing that's continuing to make positive impact? Because those stories need to be told as well. And so that's what kind of birthed this whole thing. And I just kind of got on this mission. And I was like, I'm going to find all my LinkedIn friends, some ones that are doing some great things in the community. And we're going to rejoice. And I want to highlight the great things they're doing. And so there is why we have Miss Sydney Tucker here today. So
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. So Sydney, introduce yourself to us. Tell us who you are, what you do, and we'll just kind of go there because I can get really loaded with my questions. So let me just stop right there and say, introduce us and let us know who you are, what you do, kind of, and what are your passions as it pertains to being a part of our ancestors' wildest dreams, as we hear people say.
Okay. Oh man, I haven't heard it put that way, and I love that. Okay. Well, hello, y'all. My name is Sydney Tucker. I guess what I do. I do a lot of things, but I am part of the youth implementation team for Mayor Greg Fisher's office. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, by the way, and I also am I'm also an executive director for executive officer for Artuckstic Creations, which is a local art company that originated from Louisville, and I'm so excited about it. And just all the potential it could have. And I am a very passionate person. I'm a very creative. But I'm also a very business person as well. I'm goal oriented. So it's really interesting when people look at my resume. It's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm just doing what Sydney does. So, yeah, when it comes to Black History Month and just celebrating just celebrating our living and what we have as a people. I really love it. There's so much art, so much depth that we can go in about that. And the thing is, there's so much knowledge that are not being taught in schools about Black history. Yeah. And even with African Americans, we don't know all of our history.
Yeah.
And we have so much pain for what we know, and there's so much stuff that we don't know that also gives us joy in what we are in, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to say about that, because I'm a person to talk.
Oh, I love it, because I can talk too, so I like to just, hey, take it back.
All right, we're having a whole conversation then. Okay.
So I love what you said, because there is so much truth to that. We as a people, and I can't put everybody in the box, so for whoever's listening, if you know your history or our history, don't jump on me, because I said we as a people. But many of us don't know the depths of our rich history, because we were stripped away of much of an identity when we came unwilling to this country as descendants of Africans that were stolen, from Africa and brought here. And that being said, that is something that I would hope that we would make a priority. I think with respect to all the recent events that have taken place, I think it should really cause us to really give pause to wondering and doing our due diligence to research and find out what is our history, because we don't even wear our own names. Our names were given to us, our ancestors, when we got here. We were stripped even from those basic things. And in life, that's all you get is your name. All you have is your name and your word. That's it. To be stripped away from that, which there's so much when you study what's in a name. A name has purpose. A name can help you. It can start out something big and you grow into the name that you were given, and I've done a podcast episode on just a name. And when you don't even have that and you don't even know who you are, then how can you tell your seed who they are? Because you don't even know who you are. And then it just goes on, and it's just something that's passed down. And so I like it that. Go ahead.
Sorry, can I add on to that? Yeah. Yes. So I'm interested in what you're saying, and I think of us like we have such a unique experience. Our ancestors have had such a unique experience, and it's really something to talk about. Like, we could get really in depth with that. And I feel like with names, the names have so much, how do I say, identity to them. Yep. It is what you put to the name that if it means something, I feel like, as well. And yes. I love that, just how my ancestors were, how their lifestyles were due to their circumstances, how they became so strong, how they became so graceful at the same time. It's just amazing. So with having, I don't know, just creating our own, like with God, just having our own resilience. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating. So just having, so I agree on the name part of how it brings so much of a cultural identity to us. And at the same time, I feel it's equally important to have that, how are you doing things? What impact are you bringing? What are you? What are you to that name? Do you know what I mean? So that's just sort of what that's my little 2 cents.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. In fact, the whole name thing intrigued me so much that last year I began a journey of actually just really legally changing my name. And then I stopped. I went through all the, like I did the whole thing except signed and turned it and did the last, I didn't do the last step. Because I thought about it for a while and I thought, okay, are you really like, do you really, 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 but it was so big. Like I paid all this money here because I'm from Louisville too. But I'm now not, but I relocated. I'm out here on the coast now. And so you got to go through a certain process and you pay for these checks, background checks, and you got to pay for different, just a lot of stuff to do it. I went through all of that, got to the very last step. And I was like, do I really, really want to? But I had selected a name that was very meaningful and all those things, but it's just really important. I won't hang around there because this is about you today. I want to know about you. So, but for you all that are watching, I do encourage you to check my episode out, my podcast, Life Unscripted Podcast. There's an episode that's called Hello, My Name Is. And so you all, if you're interested in my 2 cents on the name thing, check out Hello, My Name Is. And I hope that you are blessed and enlightened from that. But with you, Sydney, so tell me what your role is for what you do with Governor or with Mayor Fisher's office and all that for the youth in your community. Like, what does that entail? What do you do? How long have you been doing it? All that kind of good stuff.
Okay, so I get sort of called the OG of the membership.
Okay.
I've been there for around 6 years. Since it almost started. I may have been there like a year after that, maybe. And what basically happens is we have a whole team. We are very close, I feel like at least I feel like. And pretty much it is a opportunity to have this platform of speaking up for youth voice. Because if you notice, there are so many people that have, how do I say, that have so many, that are so opinionated and have the right to be because this is what they are living in. And with youth, they don't usually have a voice in politics, if that makes sense, especially if you're under 18 years old. So in our, I'm sorry about that, under just sort of the platform of youth, we're under 18 all the way to about 14 or 13 this year in cohort, with so many diverse talents and so many opinions. So I'm really happy about that. And what we do is we implement things and concerns of our community. For example, police brutality. Another one would be the education system and not teaching Black history, community development, infrastructure, stuff like that. And I'm really passionate about that. And just a little side note, before starting the youth implementation team, I wasn't too much into politics. I didn't understand it as much as I did right now of how significant it is to get into politics and understand politics, not for myself, not just for myself, but my community, my family.
Yes.
You know, people that you need to feed, people that you need to care for, people that are across the street, people that are in the city, people that are in the world, to set an example. It is very important to get into politics, but that's just me. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's about.
That is just incredible. So, you know, like I said a little earlier when I first, asked you to start, to introduce yourself. So I've heard it so many times, I've seen it on social media posts and on shirts and, just in people talking, and they mention we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. And, and it's been said, and I don't know who to attribute that quote to. So again, forgive me, people who's watching. If you know who started it, hey, give them credit. But I've heard that said, and it really, I've been thinking about that more and more lately, because just even out of this, when I just thinking of these conversations in this series that I'll be having with African-American trailblazers and those who are making positive impact in our community. I am a whole entire Black author. don't even think about it. Like I recently published several books and other programming and things that go along with that. And literally the day that I published the books, I did it and I literally went on with work. Like I had more things to do that day. And then the next day I worked and every day I work. I think I went out and I purchased like some Welch's sparkling grape juice for my daughters and I. We did that and we were good. When the books finally came in the mail to me, like my author's copies, I jumped up and down. I ran around the living room. I was like, yes, oh my God, that was it. I did not have a launch party, a book signing. I did not have this royal announcement that the books were out there. I didn't do anything. Like I just literally went right back to work. I had a moment, went back to work, same day. And I say that to say that we don't give ourselves enough credit. I think we might suffer a lot from what they call imposter syndrome, where we kind of just water down or talk down our contribution to what's going on, or whoever it is that we are. We kind of just, we're like, okay, and go on with it. And we deserve to celebrate ourselves. It's necessary to celebrate ourselves. It's necessary to stop and celebrate and then proceed. And so I thought to myself, I remember when in schools, they would have special speakers come and all this. And I remember, we would love to have seen a Black author. I don't think I knew any Black authors coming up, maybe some that we might have read, I don't know, not many. And I'm like, girl, speaking of our ancestors' wildest dreams, do you know that there was a time when it was illegal that we weren't even allowed to know how to read? And now, not only are we reading, we out here writing. And not only are we out here writing, we out here owning the bookstore. But before the book got to the bookstore, we are out here we are the publisher. We have our own publishing and print houses. We being me. Sis is the author. Sis is the whole publishing company, and I don't think we're any of it. Okay, I got the publishing company. Okay, I publish books. It's not even a thing. And I thought about that and I was like, girl, you are writing Black history. You are a part of Black history. At least in this family, I don't know about for anybody else that care to write it down, but in this family, you're doing something. And I say that to say that our ancestors could have only dreamt the same. I don't even know if they even dreamt it because of how harsh conditions were. Now, we didn't come from illiteracy. In Africa, we did the thing, the whole everything. Okay, civilizations. We so we don't come from ignorance at all. However, in this country, and in the way of life over here, we were not supposed to be able to read, and certainly not supposed to be able to write, and weren't even supposed to have an education. So I'm saying it in the context of our experience in this country. So that being said, I know that our ancestors would be so proud of us for I know we still have work to do and there's still a way to go, but I know they would be so proud and just rejoicing to God, thanking God for where their babies are right now, where their babies are. And I'm just getting teared up thinking that we are their babies,
I know. It's yes.
They would just be so proud, And so what do you say about that? How do you feel? Where do you think you're at in that process and contributing to their wildest dreams?
So what I feel like I love your explanation and how you were telling that. And what I have to possibly add on to that is that when it comes to our ancestors, as a Gen Z, and hearing a lot of people, a lot of their opinions, we are pretty sensitive. We are so aware of mental health. Sometimes we are not thick-skinned. You hear stuff, but sometimes you have to take things with a little grain of salt. And I feel like it's very much of a strength to focus on mental health, because mental health eventually leads to physical health. And so I very much think that is important. With our ancestors, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine being in their shoe. I feel like having their I just feel like a lot has led up to right now, and how their dreams have came to help us, for us to succeed by their circumstances. Because I feel like, for example, my great grandmother, there's a lot of stories I could tell about her that you can look back and be like, dang, okay, I need to think about this with a certain perspective. And when it comes to the people that have impacted my life, it was in history. And in history, they have really, I feel like, I don't want to say really paved the way. They have paved the way, but I know it's like a lot said, but there's another sort of phrase I want to say. They're really, how do I say? I feel like their dreams were to make a better lives to help us. That's really all I could say on that. That's all. Yeah, that's pretty much what I can't even explain it. It gets me emotional too. So yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I feel about that. And celebrating, I feel, is important, and people celebrate in different ways. I feel I have to add too. In that when celebrating, of course, thinking about your mental health, reflecting, instead of automatically going back and, like having your well, filled and your cup filled. So that's what I have to say about that, though.
So in the past, or even for now, give me, because we all celebrate, speaking of celebrating, we all celebrate in different ways. It's just like any other observation holiday, or observance, actually, observation of a special occasion, observance of a special occasion. But what have you done in the past to celebrate Black History Month? And let me just say there, I don't like it that we already have been slighted, but then we get the shortest month of the year, I'm like, really? Okay. But really, I believe that this is something we should observe and take note of. And we have been doing a better job of celebrating and embracing all year long. It's not just a month. It's not limited to just a month for us. But what do you do specifically for this month to celebrate our culture, our heritage? And what would you like to do for this year's version of Black History Month? Are there any things that you kind of have planned, or that have crossed your mind that you like to do to pay homage and to celebrate?
Yeah, I understand that. So in the past years, I don't know if you've known this, but I'm actually a lyricist. I rap and I do poetry and spoken word, and I also sing, and I'm a singer-songwriter.
She didn't tell us all of this when we asked her to introduce herself, people.
Look, I'm an open book, but you just need to tell me what I need to tell you.
Yes, let us know, and then we need to know links and things so we can come and so we can see you. But go on.
Okay, I only have one. Look, I only have like one published rap, and it's The Ballad of the Bullet. BALLET, or The Bullet, and my rap name is Smooth City, SYDIE.
Okay, I love it. Oh my God, there's so much there I would like to ask, but I'm gonna let you finish answering the question.
Look,
that's awesome.
Part 2. No, I'm joking.
Yes.
No, yeah, definitely. I love doing that for Black History Month, and I've been doing performances for the past. And for this year specifically, I definitely want to help in being in this new role of executive officer of Artuckstic Creations. I definitely want this art company to flourish in Blackness and African American. I want for us to definitely put some pieces out there, which we're planning to at the African American Heritage. And we are also, what am I saying? Okay, Another thing is for me working in Metro government, we have Youth Violence Prevention Week. And we're also working on that for inclusiveness and diversity. And I know people say that a whole lot, but with me in it, yes, inclusivity and diversity, and making certain that people are included, not even just considering brown skin, peach skin, but also having personally, I have 3 special needs siblings with autism. And so just inclusive in that way as well. And so I'm so excited for all that. And that's happening in March. So just a continuation to stop the violence and have diversity and inclusion as well. So that's sort of what's happening this year is what I'm planning on happening. So
I'm excited for that because I love the arts. I love the arts. I mean, and I think when you are a creator and what they're calling now a creative, then I think in all ways, that's what we do is we create, and we can see opportunities to create in so many different ways, whether it be reading, writing, rapping, singing, decor, graphic design. I mean, there's so many ways that when you are a creator or creative, that we can do that. And it's just, and I think what we have that's brilliant when you're that kind of person is we have this outside of the box way of thinking too, and I think that helps when we face different things. You can kind of use that gift to say, okay, this way isn't working, but what's another way that can? And I think it helps us with problem solving skills when you are that way, because you can think outside the box. We're going to wrap up, but I would like for you to share any links, whether it be with the organization that you're affiliated with, that we might be able to follow and support.
Okay.
And even with you following any of your platforms, if you have like any type of social pages or wherever your one published work is. So links is my first question. But second question, I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you don't have anything off the top of your head that you can share with us, don't. But I would love to hear you recite something, a piece, if you can. But if you don't, we'll just get a link or something, and we can just let everybody kind of go to the link and find it that way. Whatever is best. But I love that. Okay. I didn't know that you did all that.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Here we go. On the spot. Here we go, people. When I was young, I was in school being cool without a clue of the real issues that occur besides cafeteria food. Each day I went home naively seeing society develop to be the social norm I thought related to other families, but now it's clear to see I need to give more critical thought to what happens to me on the daily. Things get crazy, overwhelmingly hazy, politics strategically playing with the loyalty laziness. And with this conformity, lack of love and social appliance, behavioralism has created a natural social divide with violence from the slave days to now. African Americans haven't been given the liberty since, the sense of walking in this world of serious issues, hurting the oppressors them best to be blessed with the political maturity, because with the oppressed like a security, it's hard to get out of police brutality. Eulogies.
Girl! Wow! Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh! You are so talented.
You.
Oh my God, are you gonna be like performing that anywhere this month or?
I'm not planning to, but if anyone has
it right here, honey. You just did it right here.
I know. I'm so happy about it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so like that is awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here with us. Again, leave us with any links. Let us know how we can find you or your organization so we can support and follow or whatever.
I got it. Thank you so much for having me. I was excited for this. Thank you so much.
Yes. Where do we go? How do we find you? What websites?
Got it. Go ahead and go to www.artucksticCreations.com. So ArtucksticCreations.com. Creations.com. And so go ahead and go there, and then the rest we could probably figure out. So there we go.
Thank you so much, Sydney.
It is awesome to listen to my show, but wouldn't it be amazing if you could launch your very own? Go from listening to launching when you pick up my new book called Is This Thing On? The Super Simple Guide to Planning, Launching, and Scaling Your Podcast. And of course, it was written by a podcaster for new and aspiring podcasters. Building a brand and operating a business can get a little hectic sometimes. I mean, there's a million things to do and you only have 2 hands, but not to fret. I've got some goodies for you. I want you to visit organizedenergy.co/spill-the-tea. organizedenergy.co/spill-the-tea. I have curated a list of some of the favorite tools and resources that I use as I operate my business that have been amazing for me. They have helped me to save time. They have helped me to build my team. They have helped me to stay connected with my people. And I absolutely love so many of these tools. I want to share them with you and it's free to download. So again, go to organizedenergy.co/spill-the-tea so that I can help you get started working smarter and not harder.